Hello, everybody. This is Jazzy of Video Store Sasquatch here doing Throwback Thursday. This is just going to be a review here. I had not seen this movie. It's the first time. It's Leap of Faith, directed by Richard Pierce, starring Steve Martin as Jonas, Deborah Winger as Jane, Liam Neeson as Sheriff Will, and Lolita Davidovich as Marva. Three of those four actors still acting today. Deborah Winger actually was acting until 2021. I don't know if she's in anything coming out or not, but that's crazy. This is over 30 years ago. And as we go through this list, and I give you some more notable guys like Meatloaf, who has passed away, Philip Seymour Hoffman, who has passed away, both big names, and then MC Gamey, who plays Tiny. He acts today. Troy Evans, who plays the sheriff in the beginning of the movie, he still acts today. And Luke Haas, who is the younger brother of Lolita or Marva, he plays Boyd. He is still acting today. So, of those names, one, two, three, four, six of eight or nine are acting today. Two have passed away. One's still alive. She just seems to be on a retirement. So that's pretty impressive. It talks about the talent in this movie, even if it wasn't the best movie coming or the best movie or the most remembered movie. There's still a lot of talent in here. It was about a fake faith healer named Jonas Nightengale and his group break down the small Kansas town. They decide to pop up their tent. Um, that's basically the premise of this movie here. We open up, we start with the tour bus being pulled over. They bet if he can get out of the ticket or not. He starts pulling this con on the sheriff here. He eventually finds out that the sheriff's daughter's name's Kathy. They hadn't talked. That's how he kind of gets out of this ticket here and relates to him. It shows that no matter what this guy is up against, he will try and talk his way out of it. More, he will actually probably be successful. So that's how we kind of meet him. We meet him, Jane, um, Tiny, Hoover, Matt, and the whole group there through that interaction here. And they start to move on from the area. They're about 100 miles down the road. Their tour bus breaks down, so they have to stop. They pull over. It's going to be a 4-day wait, and at that point in time, Steve Martin decides, let's set up shop. They go to the restaurant there. He kind of impresses some of the locals there doing some stuff here. He breaks his watch to show that his valuables aren't worth it. You know, you gotta remember this guy's a con man. He's trying to get all these people's money, as much money as he can out of these people through the church, which is especially messed up. It happened all the time. This is kind of more of a throwback. I feel like this is a little bit later for the 90s, even, but it probably did still happen. We have the same sort of things that even out with the churches that are on the TV there. So yeah, it happened. Um, he goes in, he starts to set up. They go to the sheriff, meet him. We see Jane and his relationship there, how Jane is devoted to Jonas here and the whole group. She's ready to do, she'll follow Jonas through anything here. They meet the sheriff. The sheriff right away tells them this town is, he's like, we don't want this at our town at all. He still kind of like professes and he's like still trying to prove that he's like this amazing healer. So he's like, well, I'm going to do it anyways. The sheriff kind of involves himself by investigating him in every which way possible, having building inspectors show up, having the fire inspectors show up, making sure everything about this tent that they're popping up is going to be completely 100% legit. And it gets in their crawl. So then we get to the first show here. And then in the first show, we see how everything works. We have the microphone set up through her at the bus telling him, like, okay, if we go to section 5 over here, seat 13 and row 2, that's the girl that we were talking about beforehand that had the problem with her neighbor. And it kind of goes on from there on what we saw with the people walking in, like Philip Seymour Hoffman there, Matt's character. He was giving all this information to them through the back there. She's feeding it to him while he's preaching. These people are giving him the money. It's all one hell of a scam here. It's pretty crazy that this is actually legit happened in real life. But it's crazy just to see how it all kind of runs on through this technology and through this stuff. Um, so after the first show, the sheriff's like, "All right, you got your big money here. Let's leave this town alone. Like, let's finally do this. Like, get out of here, guys. Pretty much your last warning. Throughout this whole time, though, Will is trying to get with Jane, and he's trying to prove that, like, hey, you don't need Jonas and stuff like that. And it does kind of throw a whole wrench into the system a couple of times. Like, she's late for the second show. And the second show, Jonas has something planned up his sleeves. He is very cocky about it. He has this little, like, cushion thing. He's able to put the blacklight ink on his hand, and he'd go up to the people and he'd put crosses on their face. So when the blacklights hit through the show, the crosses would show on their heads, and everyone would think it was this miracle. But in reality, it was this guy just imprinting it on, and he passed it off to Matt at one point in time. It was a pretty crazy little whole thing. Will shows up and he tells the crowd everything. He says this guy, when he was young, he shoplifting. He got caught possession of marijuana. He got grand theft auto, and even later on in life, he was running bad checks and scamming which way. He was scamming artworks and stuff like this. This guy cannot be trusted, and this kind of plays into Steve Martin's whole hand because now he's a preacher, so now he's able to say, "Well, the Lord saved me." And I mean, he goes on a whole rampage. The whole church gets whole right behind him. He is 100% righteous about his whole thing, his whole situation of being a bad person. And after Steve Martin, or after Liam Neeson kind of turn, or yeah, after Steve Martin turns it on, Liam Neeson, hey, I'm the good guy here now. You're kind of the bad guy. You're being a wolf. The whole town pretty much goes against the sheriff, who they knew more than him. It's crazy to think of what kind of power these people have, and a lot of this movie is showing that. And then another thing is the ending is what do you believe and what don't you believe here, and what is it in? So it was a really good, decent movie. I wouldn't say really good. It was decent. It was pretty much middle of the road. I gave it a C plus for overall grade in comedy drama. I think they had it under, so I just gave it a C plus overall. C plus everywhere. um, it was the things that I liked about the movie were like were kind of going into earlier about how you got to see the inner workings of everything. You got to see the microphone placements. You got to see the camera placements. The her into the truck, showing him the sections. I mean, they've worked this through probably town after town after town for probably a decade plus by now. You know what I mean? So Steve Martin would have been like 40, 50 at this time. You know what I mean? So they would have been established. The sheriff already knew kind of who they were. At least they knew about them. So they're like, I mean, so definitely in there. And it was an interesting ending. It's like I said, it kind of goes with the redemption arc of everything. I don't really want to give you what the ending was, but it just it goes with the overall themes of the movie throughout the whole time, and then you don't know exactly what to believe because this guy has always been a con man and everything like that. But he did have the belief for a lot of these people to either adrenaline boost or whatever you call it. I don't happen all the time. It happens. I mean, it happens today, so I'm pretty sure. So there we are. We went through the actors that are still working today. Just talks to the talent there. That was over 32 years ago. Thing about that we still have eight of six or eight of six of eight. Yeah, six of eight still acting today. So that's crazy. Um, this movie today, yeah. Matter of fact, if you this movie could definitely come out today, and if you really want to look at it, look at Righteous Gemstones. It's not exactly what this preacher was, but it's the same type of system here, where it's the. Please comment below any Steve Martin movies that you like, any movie that maybe was a little bit just kind of middle of the road that what you like that maybe other people didn't like. Anything like that, comment any movie for Throwback Thursday, any movie for Streaming Saturday. Have a good rest of your day or night. Have a great week. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Comment your top movie picks for Throwback Thursday in the comments section. And see you next time in the cave.